I was feeling bad about the heat, but then I was talking to people about people who survive lightning strikes and their blood boils so much that it makes like a tattoo, well, almost like a scarring on their skin. I'm like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be complaining about the heat too much when people have gone through ordeals like that.
Blood boils like a necromancer move, right?
Yeah, type in lightning strike.
No, I just mean, Steve, you can feel hot. You don't.
I was like, oh no, I feel bad now. I'm like,
don't worry. You don't have to worry about offending the 2 people a year that get struck by lightning.
This latest heat wave has given me empathy towards people struck by lightning. It's really put it into perspective.
It's because apparently it's meant to be thundering and lightning in some parts of the UK at the moment.
Not here, it's not.
No, it's up north.
Bring it on.
I like that picture that Bluntcast posted of just a gun aimed at the sun.
Aimed at the sun, yeah, I saw that.
Like,
that was really good.
I couldn't find, outside of that one, I couldn't really find a meme that I liked, except for this one, which was just Albert, the unfindable crab. And now that he's been found, time will collapse. That's just...
I saw someone post that on Twitter the other day. That's pretty good.
I like that one. I'm finding Twitter really fun at the minute. Like, the algorithm is like kind of getting decent, where it's sending me like funny video game shit.
I need to sort mine out. Mine is just all hot women, and not that I'm complaining, but that it's like I deleted my Facebook not that long ago, and now I go on Twitter, and it's like it's just Facebook again. It's just people going like rough day today, and then someone will be like, "Oh, what's wrong?" and they're like, "Don't want to talk about it," and I'm like, "I'm just looking at Facebook again."
I've got my Twitter set up so I only see people who I follow and their retweets. And if they retweet something a bit questionable, I'm like turning off your retweets. You've lost those privileges.
That's why you never reply to my tweets anymore.
No, I still reply to you. No, I do reply to you. Sometimes I'm like, I don't want to reply too much though,
Oh, you can be needy with me. That's fine.
Yeah, but it's like also like for Laura, I'm like, I don't want to like every single tweet, but she does post some funny tweets.
Yeah. Does Twitter like Hail Mary subjects at you sometimes? Like I got one the other day that's like NFL, and it's like, oh, all right. Nice try, Twitter.
I've got it turned on. Well, I've got ad blocker on my Twitter browser, and also I have it sorted by timeline, so it doesn't show me random stuff.
Well, it's like I've started going into the Explore tab a lot, which was like dangerous at first because it doesn't know shit, and now it's like it's getting there. It's got like video game stuff and this, that, and the other, but occasionally, like Will says, it does like weird shit. For some reason, no matter how much I keep telling it I'm not interested, it just keeps showing me like 4 or 5 tweets about Naruto, and it's just like it's always a tweet with like 15,000 retweets of some guy being like, "Hey, Naruto's pretty good." And I'm like,
yeah, right. That's all it is.
My favorite thing at the moment is just looking at the Twitter stories and being flabbergasted by what they think is a story. Like I saw the other day, there was one which was, "This story is poor shaming people because they're putting their cheap value stuff as a yellow packaging, and that's offensive." And I'm like, how?
Your algorithm sucks, Steve. Not gonna lie. I get Naruto and Blaze Blue.
Enjoy.
I don't know why.
On just Starcraft 2 or VTubers or fucking I don't even know.
VTubers playing Starcraft 2.
No one plays Starcraft 2.
No.
True.
I had to mute Kim Kardashian on Twitter the other day.
She not stop replying at you
because she won't. Yeah, she won't stop tweeting at me. No. It's just like for the 4th time it's been like, oh, here's something Kim Kardashian said on Twitter the other day, and I'm like, what? Why are you showing me this?
Your Twitter sounds like you haven't quite used it enough, and it still doesn't know what to do. So it
doesn't know who I am.
Yeah.
Well, it's like all I do is I followed Hunt, and then like a bunch of people who followed me. So it's like, in what world does it think that is interesting to me? I don't get it.
What was that show with David Tennant where he was a devil and there was an angel person?
Doctor Who.
No, not Doctor Who. It was on.
Oh, Good Omens, the Neil Gaiman.
Good Omens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got so fed up of seeing people retweeting that shit on thing. I permanently muted the hashtag Good Omens and Good Omens fan art because I was like, no,
Good Omens
I'm
fan
done.
art.
Yes, I had followed some people who I'm like, I like their retweets usually, but after that show came out, I was like, no, I'm done.
Never watched the show, but it's had some good fucking clips. So.
I watched 1 or 2 episodes and I was like, it's okay, but not for me.
Oh, I'm getting so fed up I had to mute Kim Kardashian and Kim Kardashian fan art.
I did. Okay, I did something really the other day. Because Elon Musk was another one that kept, and he was going to buy Twitter for a while, and he didn't. Mm-hmm. And his tweets would keep cropping up, and then I was like, I blocked him, and then there was a small part of my brain that was like, "Oh, you rebel!
Take that, stupid billionaire!"
The owner of Twitter. Yeah. Like he's gonna know.
He's really upset now. He had to take the evening off to recover from blocking him.
Well, I just imagine it's like the deal goes through, and his first act as owner of Twitter is to permanently ban everyone who's muted or blocked, who's blocked him on Twitter. He's like, just get these people out of here.
He doesn't ban them. He like rejects the block, so you have to follow him specifically.
Oh, so you can't. Yeah. You
can't unfollow
Everybody
him.
Immediately follows. Yeah, Elon Musk, and he becomes the most popular person on the planet. Yeah,
you will listen to what I have to say. Twitter is a double-edged sword. It's great until it's not. It's like you were saying about the just random like women in underwear, where it's like, oh, we want to chill and watch Naruto, and for some reason, because Twitter thinks I want to see Naruto shit, it's like that's on my front.
Oh my god,
Twitter.
that annoys the hell out of me.
It's so annoying.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, one trick for Twitter though, if you want a bunch of followers, you just got to say, I'm thinking about commissioning some art for a VTuber, just all the buzzwords. You will get so many graphic designers whispering you, following you. It really does work.
I don't think I want them following me. That doesn't sound like the type of people I want to follow.
Yeah, but they follow and then they forget, so you're just bigger number, better person after that,
it's like a fake number. fake follow number. Is that why you've got like 10,000 followers, Steve?
No, I got that because I posted whole pics.
Posted what?
Sorry, the heat is getting to me.
Yeah, rolling straight off of that. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Game FourCast. It's too hot, but we'll try and get this intro going. The weekly gaming podcast where we're going to get together and chat about all our favourite games we've been playing and the news that we found. My name is Josh, aka BottlerWorks. I'm here with Olive Meister, Will.
Hello, I'm Will or Olive Meister. I don't have a joke this week. I'm sorry.
Quick, Steve.
Hi, if you don't know who I am by now, I'm a little jealous as you get the joy of experiencing Steve for the first time. You're welcome.
And Sammeh.
Yep, I'm Sam, and I still don't know how to follow up after Steve.
It's like a weird sandwich of two people that have nothing to say, and then Steve's joke in the middle.
Steve, yes.
Right, let's get straight into what we've been playing. I really want to talk about what I've been playing. So I'm actually gonna hog it this week and go first. I never really go first.
Don't you mean lamb it?
Oh yeah, there you go. I've been playing nothing but Cult of the Lamb this week, basically.
No.
Oh yeah.
Has anyone else here played this?
Yes.
How much have you played?
I played 2 hours of it on Twitch.
And then about you two?
I bought it. I've looked at the main menu. I couldn't get the Twitch integration to work, and then I refunded it.
What? Oh. just not feeling it, I guess.
I just couldn't be bothered. It looks really fun. I'm gonna play it, but I was like, after the initial hype, the initial hype wave, I was like right there with it, and then I couldn't get it to work, and then I was like, well, now I'm not going to get to play it till Monday because I want to do it with the Twitch integration.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, I'll just wait for a sale. I'll just buy it again when it's on sale. I don't need it right now.
So I've finished this game.
Mm-hmm.
I have basically 100%ed it, almost.
The most important question first, though, what did you name your cult?
Well, my cult is Cult of the Bottlers, because my name is BottlerWorks.
Weakling.
What's yours
I named
then?
mine the Big PP Chads.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I was going to say it was going to be Cult of the Horny something or other. Penis. No, I don't really know what I think about this game. For some reason, I think I overhyped it for myself. I don't know why, in retrospect, because it's just like a little indie game. But I was really excited. It's so like I said, I've finished it basically 100%. I've got a few little bits to tidy up, but I'm 12 hours in, which
that is not long.
It's not
roguelike.
Also, here's the thing: it is a roguelike, but I'm never going to come back and play this ever again because not it's not like Isaac or something, where it's like doing a run is really good. And you just want to do another one because it's always different and interesting. It's every run is more or less the same.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to think of how I can break this down so I don't sort of go all over the place. So there are two elements to the game. One is like your base builder, where you recruit dudes to your cult. That's a really good screenshot. I'm gonna use that one. You recruit random people to your cult, and then they can do stuff around your base. And you have to like look after them. You have to feed them. You have to make sure they're faithful by doing like different bits in your church and this, that, and the other. And then so that's one part of it. And the second part is like the closest comparison is kind of Binding of Isaac, where it's square rooms, enemies inside them, clear all the enemies, and then move on to the next room.
But it's to me that it's very basic compared to Binding of Isaac.
It is very, very basic, and that's the biggest problem with it. Is both parts of the game, like the combat, roguelike elements, and the base building, are both very simple. It's like all I can think of whilst I'm playing it is there are lots of other games already that do what this game is trying to do, but way better, which is kind of a shame. Because like the last thing you want to do is like compare it to other stuff because it's not fair. But it's like it's so close. It's so close to being really good. It just feels like it needed maybe more time just to flesh some more stuff out. Like what's there is quite polished.
Or DLC packs,
Yeah, I mean, I think I saw somewhere that said they're not finished, like they're going to flesh out the end game or something. But I also don't think this game is early access. I think it is.
Yeah, I think it's just out.
So it's a bit weird. But like, I think, like I said, I had fun with it, but it's quite short, and the combat is just I think there's 4 weapons, and there's maybe like 5 or 6 curses, which are like secondary abilities, like throw a bomb or do
like a spell.
Yeah, do a line AOE, and that's kind of it. And the combat is just sort of mash, mash, roll, mash, mash. Roll.
So it's like you're not getting the build the like builds don't mix it up enough each run for you to want to just play it for the sake of playing.
Exactly. Yeah, but I would say there aren't builds at all in this game.
Yeah.
So there are tarot cards. There's 36 of them, and you just sort of get them as you do a run. But they're more like, as opposed to changing how the game plays, they're just buffs. So do a bit more damage, have an extra heart, this, that, and the other. It's not like like not like Isaac or Hades where you get something and then suddenly your weapon is completely different and stuff like that. It's just you're always just getting slight buffs, and then you're just mashing square to do attacks and rolling away.
So it's like you're not making interesting like build decisions or something as you go through a run. It's okay. That's disappointing.
Yeah, it's like I say, it's not bad. It's just really simple.
I think the best part of this game is the aesthetic, and also I feel like the Twitch integration, when it works, is done really, really well in this game.
Yeah, I would say I got nothing to really say about the Twitch integration. I did it a bit when you were streaming. Yeah, if you talk about that, because
so basically, you can link your Twitch account, to your game, and then whenever you get a new follower, and usually you would customize it, but you can basically let your Twitch followers raffle to be able to customize it. And the integration is really good on Twitch because it looks like it's in-game text on the screen, which you're clicking to do so.
Yeah.
And whoever wins can actually customize their own follower, and then it's got their name above, and then that's basically it. There's also apparently you can set it so they can spend bits, which is real money, to get fancier skins for their followers.
Okay.
So that's something as well. You can also basically have this part wasn't working for me at the time. I think I need to like turn off the game and turn it back on to fix it, but I just couldn't be bothered at the time. You can set it so there's a channel point redeem where people can spend their channel points to give your totem more essence or whatever it's called. So that would be a good channel point sync as well. Yeah. It might make the game like by default it's got like a 3-minute cooldown global because it's like it would be maybe make the game a bit too easy if you get all this essence for free. But yeah, it looks like it's got very, very good Twitch integration. It's a shame that the first few days it was playing up because I felt like everyone was streaming the game.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's a place where this game can shine. Like it's as Josh said, the city building stuff is okay. It's not groundbreaking. The roguelike elements are okay, but it's no Isaac. But having fun with like a Twitch community in this game seems to be where it's going to really excel.
Yeah, I think it's like you said. I think the aesthetic of the game for sure is the best part. It looks really nice. It's just a really cute storybook art style as a backdrop to this kind of grotesque story.
Yeah, it's that really funny like kids animation meets
like Happy Tree Friends,
incredibly
kind of
horrific themes. Yeah.
It's like you do like there's like a whole bunch of weird stuff like sacrifice. On the screen right now, there's pictures from like a sacrifice where all your cute animals are just like yeah, and then a big Cthulhu tentacle comes and just like destroys them. There's other stuff as well. It's just like there's one ritual I've got which basically I get my whole cult of cute animals and tell them to take a shitload of hallucinogen mushrooms, which just gives them all spiralized and makes them like just be happy for 2 in-game days, and they can't say no to anything. So it's like so you have them take a bunch of hallucinogens so they can't lose faith. And then you do all the other rituals. So you rob them blind, you sacrifice one of them, and like, they all love it. They don't say anything. You activate the one where they work for 3 days straight through the night. So they're just like high on mushrooms whilst farming and mining.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's little bits like that that's really interesting. I find that stuff really funny and really good.
It's just like not in service of enough other stuff.
It's just too simple. It's just like there's. On paper, there's this really cool idea where the cult stuff feeds into the gameplay loop of the roguelike and back and forth, and that's how it is. But it's just not quite enough there.
What's the like breakdown of how much is spent, how much is roguelike and how much is cult sim?
I'd say it's a little bit more cult sim compared to the roguelike.
I think especially at the start, because as you grow your cult, apparently you get more automation for.
Yeah, I'm so like I said, I've basically finished this game 100%, and my village is basically self-sufficient. The farming stuff you have to do, like Stardew Valley, it's all manual at the start, and then eventually they do it all for you. Eventually you can get them just doing everything on their own, and that means that you can go do dungeon crawling for like 3 in-game days without them getting pissed off.
Okay.
I did forget about one Twitch thing as well. They can also there'll be events of good and bad things, and my chat when I was playing it liked to make all my villagers poop at the same time, and I had to go up and clean it all up.
Yeah, there's a really weird thing at the start of the game where your villagers just shit everywhere. and the first part of the game is just doing circles around your village, just picking up shit because they get really upset if there's shit everywhere. But they all
cult life, man, it's hard.
But it's like there's like you start the game and you only have like a handful. You have like 5 of them, and for whatever reason, they all choose to shit in different corners of the map. So you can tell they're all upset and annoyed at something. So it's like, okay, where have you shit this time? Why are you upset at the shit in the corner? But yeah,
reminds me of Digimon World, man.
but the one thing I will say as well, I think over time this will get better. But my experience has been quite buggy as well, which is a bit of a shame.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
I've had quite a few issues. There's some stuff where, again, you have like automation for them to get logs and stone, and if you play for like 2 or 3 hours, they just kind of stop using them. So you have to like reset the game and then they do it again. I've had stuff like that. I've had a few wonky hitboxes during combat, where it's because it's like 2D assets in a 3D environment. Yeah. There's some weird layering stuff where I've been caught by a projectile a few times, and I'm like, oh, that's a bit annoying. I've had a few weird frame rate stuff. So there was one point where there was just 2 villagers kind of T-posing inside each other, and my frame rate went down to like 10 until I reset the game.
That's pretty funny.
And there was some, I'm not sure if it's been fixed or not, but apparently there's been some like soft lock bugs where one of your key buildings will disappear, and it's like, well, you can't
that's been
do
fixed
anymore.
I heard that's been fixed.
Okay, that's good.
But yeah, it's a little bit, and there's a few design decisions as well that I don't quite like. It's really hard to get some of the resources at the start before you get it all automated, and you spend like a bunch of wood to set up wood automation, but then that building can break, and then you can't repair it because you haven't got enough wood from it yet. So
you go back to farming wood
again.
Yeah,
there's a few weird little bits like that, but I think this game is really good, and I have enjoyed my time with it. I don't think it's worth 20 quid, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Well, 20 quid is cheap these days for a game, let's be honest.
It's hard, right?
These days.
It is, but every fibre of my being says that if someone comes to me and says, should I get this? I think my response is just like, go get Hades instead, or go get Isaac. Or like,
I can see that. Isaac's much more expensive with all the DLC these days. I think 20 quid is...
Someone showed me that the other day, that Isaac with all the DLC, if you want to play current Isaac, it's like 40 quid right now.
Oh, really?
It's not on sale, which is like, what the hell?
I mean, it's worth it, but yeah. I would say Cult of the Lamb is worth it for 20 quid, especially if you're going to stream it and you have like an audience who are going to engage with it.
If you're going to do the streaming thing, then yeah. 20 quid for a game where if Josh says he's basically 100%ed it in 12 hours.
I'm not joking when I say that. I think 2 achievements off of getting every Steam achievement, and I'm really close to doing them.
Yeah.
Like 100% of the I will have finished the game.
£20 isn't expensive, but it's not cheap, if you know what I mean. It's in that weird boundary of like,
it's not an impulse buy, and it's not a full price. Yeah,
but you need to still be getting your money out of that game.
But 20 quid is the perfect price for it to eventually be on Game Pass or free on Epic Game Store. So
this will be a great little Game Pass game one day. I can literally see it, I think. Where it's just
I remember when we had like a little chat over text about this, and I was like, the only reason I know about this game was because of the Twitch integration.
Yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
It's very sad that it's not worked for Will, because I've got nearly 200,000 points and I was ready to burn them all.
I'm gonna get it and I'm gonna stream it. I'm just gonna wait.
Yeah.
For a sale.
Absolutely.
It was so weird. I was so hyped. It was Thursday, which was the release day, and I was so hyped to stream it, and then it wasn't coming out till like 6 p.m., which is I'm done with stream by then. So I was like, okay, fine. I'll play it Friday, buy it Friday morning, download it, boot it up. Can't get Twitch stream to work, and then it was like, oh, fucking sod it. I wasn't like annoyed, but I was just like, oh, okay, I'll just wait. I'm not in a rush.
I just, even if they expand the end game, I don't really know if they can fix the issues I have with it. My main issues is, like I said, I thought the roguelike part specifically was going to have more to it, but there's essentially 4 weapons. And
although I really do think Isaac has spoiled us for roguelikes. You can't really beat it.
Well, there's 5 weapons in this, and the only difference between them really is how quickly they attack. So if you imagine a graph of like attack speed and damage. And the weapons get there's a dagger, it's fast but not much damage. There's a sword, which is faster, slower but more damage. Then it goes axe and hammer. And then there's like a weird claw one, which is just on the third attack, does a little bit more damage. And that's it. That's basically it. There are modifiers for like sometimes there's a poison version of it. Sometimes it can do more damage, but it's just like it's fundamentally that's kind of it.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
Although it'd be a good game to get people into roguelikes. Like, if you got like someone who's like, I'm not really feeling Isaac, where you're like, well, because of like the poop and the stuff. Even though there's poop in
this game.
Here's a cute little lamb that you get to play instead of like a naked crying baby,
Yeah. No, I actually agree with you there. Yeah, I think this is a really good like first entry into a roguelike, because you can almost like squint and it's not a roguelike, but it is, but it's not, if you get what I mean. So, Yeah, I'm so umming and ahhing about this game because I like it, but I can't recommend it.
Oh yes, you've got to the point where like you've nearly 100%ed it, which is a credit to the game.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
it's like you don't expect to I don't know. Maybe like Steve said, we're spoiled by Isaac again, but you don't expect to 100% even if it's not a full roguelike. You don't expect to do that in like one weekend after buying it, sort of thing. Yeah.
I think that the issue is just, as far as the roguelike part goes, there's never an itch to do another run just to see what would happen, because it's not that type of game. It's like
Yeah, for me, when I was doing it, I was like, I want to do another run because I want to get a follower, so one of my Twitch followers can then become an in-game.
Is it really a roguelike then?
It's a roguelike in the sense that every time you do it, it's a fresh map, and the starting weapon you have, again, they're not very different, but you have a different starting weapon and a different ability. And when you finish the small map of like 9 or 10 rooms, you can pick a route. If you ever played Slay the Spire,
yeah,
where you pick like what room you want to go to next, and you can see the whole route, and you can choose if you want to go to another combat section or if you want to go to like a shop. Or it's 100% a roguelike. It's just not very fleshed.
It is a run-based game then.
Yes, yeah.
Right, okay.
But the idea behind it is, as you're doing a run, there's a real in-game timer of like days and nights, and your village is still operating whilst you're doing runs. And again,
that's interesting. I didn't know that.
And before you have automation in that, they'll just shit everywhere and die of starvation, and then be like, "Fuck this, I'm leaving." So you have to
see that aspect sounds cool.
Yeah,
but obviously, I am worried at the point where you say if you never felt like, I want to do another run, then I feel like they've missed something there.
Yeah, it's like I said, the idea on paper is really good, because you have this system of you do stuff in a combat run to help your village, and then you do stuff in the village which helps your next run. It's just the problem is it's just not fleshed out enough.
Yeah.
It's just not deep enough. Which is that's its biggest problem.
That's a shame. That's the problem I had with Hades, which I've loved Hades, but like, after a while I was like, I'm kind of just doing the same kind of thing each time. And Hades was better because it had all the weapons were very different from each other.
Yeah, I think Hades had kind of the one more run feel, in the sense that just because the combat was so much fun. I was like, I want to play more because it feels so good to play. Where again, this game, it's not bad, it's just a bit simple. So it's like every kind of run feels the same.
Okay.
Yeah, I got nothing else to add. I think, like I said, my final words is just I've enjoyed my time with it, but I wouldn't recommend it, I don't think, unless you're really captivated by the art style.
Yeah. Maybe this is a one to revisit if they continue to update it.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah. See what they add, if anything, that ends up like changing the end stuff.
It should. The Twitch integration should give it longevity.
Yeah, you'd hope so.
That's what I was thinking, is this whole setup where it's like, your viewers can join in and become a member of the cult, and it's like, that's all in service of a game that's over in like one weekend, It doesn't
yeah.
It's like a lot of investment there for something where you're just not going to go back to it, sort of thing.
Yeah, it's more like a story game as opposed to a game that I'm going to come back to because, what will happen next time.
It's like Animal. It's not like Animal Crossing. You're not like, I got to check up on my cult. Got to go.
But again, you
clean up all their poop.
Yeah, story. There's no in-game timer for when you're not playing. But again, this could have been a cool game where you customize and you can customize your village. You can put up decorations and stuff. But again, it's just not quite there for me.
There's not enough stuff. There's not enough to get your teeth into.
I'm not that kind of person anyway, if I'm being honest. I'm not big into customizing my village is just min-max, right? It's just like there's your pooping corner over there. I got toilets set up. Here's the living quarter in the bottom left. Top left is the mining and like stations. There's no like symmetry or aesthetics to my village. It's just a cult of just work. But yeah, we'll move on from this because I'm basically done with that. But yeah, I'm done with that. Who else has played some stuff this week? Anyone?
I can
go on, Sam.
I will resist talking more about Starcraft 2.
Okay,
that's good of you.
That is the game I played the most this week.
Yeah,
because it's still got its claws in me.
What are you playing exactly? And you don't have to get into this, but what exactly are you doing? I'm
doing the co-op commander most of the time.
Right. Okay.
But I'm I'm on my way to get 100% for the campaigns.
I've given up. That's hard.
I've given up. Yeah, I've got to 93% on the Terran one, but I've given up getting 100% because all I've got left to do is the Space Invaders minigame.
Yeah.
And I just can't do that minigame. It drives me nuts.
What? I don't remember any of this.
But the other ones is just like, do all the objectives. Here's some challenges for each mission. Beat every mission on Brutal.
That's hard. The doing it on Brutal.
I've done all the like. Each mission has 3 like achievements that like you see at the score screen. But each mission has more than 3. It's just they're like the ones which is like, you should try and do these while you're doing the mission kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
So I've beaten every mission on Brutal for the Swarm campaign now.
I'll give you props to that. That's really hard, by the way. I remember that.
Yeah, it's got to the point where, like, before I couldn't play Brutal.
Yeah.
Because on that difficulty, you can't just herder, economy, build army, A move.
Yeah.
Like, you're
playing against like an actual player almost, aren't you? It's like a 1v1, like a ranked game.
Yeah. The enemy has it such stacked in their advantage that they'll actually send like units that do stuff and like caster units that actually cast their spells where they should and shit like that.
I remember that because StarCraft 2 campaigns have like that weird metagame stuff on the outside. Like what troops do you want to develop next for the next missions and which one to upgrade? I remember you could actually like mess yourself up by going down the wrong paths and stuff for Brutal and having a hard time.
There were some were better than others, but in Heart of the Swarm onwards, they made it so that each unit has like 2 different talent trees. One of them is a permanent one. You make your choice, you cannot change it. And the other one is you can swap whenever you like. Right. So you could never really fuck yourself from Heart of the Swarm onwards. You could maybe choose one and later on be like, actually, I don't think I wanted this one.
Yeah.
But ultimately, like, you don't lose a lot because you still get this other ability that you can, like, chop and change.
Yeah.
But yeah, the co-op commander stuff is also really fun because they've added prestiging to that now. So you can reset to level 1. And then you can change your character's passive. So before each character has things that are unique to them. So like in the screen right now, it's got Karax. He is a very defensive style person.
Yeah.
His whole thing is building photon cannons. He gets a special defensive unit that attacks slowly, costs gas, which is insane for a defensive structure, but it hits like a fucking truck. And I'm trying to get to the one where he can no longer build defensive structures, but all his units cost less because I like his units.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So like, there's little gameplay changes you can do.
That mode is really fun.
I remember playing a lot of that. It was a lot of fun.
This is literally because of, was it Stormborn? When we saw that trailer?
The
RTS itch has not left me.
What was it called? Was it Stormgate? Whatever it's called.
Storm something.
Oh, yeah. If I know
what was that? Yeah. Blizzard.
Stormgate.
X.
It was
Stormgate, yeah. I thought it was Stormgate.
Yeah. I thought it was Stormborn. But yeah, anyway. So, I've definitely put a lot of time into StarCraft 2 this week. But the new game I've played is good old 2 Point Campus.
Oh, okay, yeah. How deep are you?
I'm on the 2nd map.
Okay, that's where I haven't started it, but that's where I am as well.
I just finished that map.
Sorry, do you want to run that by me again?
Wait, what?
You haven't.
I haven't played anything, but you're on the 2nd map.
You haven't started the 2nd map, but that's where you're up to, or you haven't started the game, but that's where you're up to.
Yes. No, I've done the first map of 2 Point Campus, and I've unlocked the second one and not started it.
Because I did the thing where it's like you get 1 star, and I was like, well, I can't leave it on 1 star.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Monster
you
moves
got 3 stars. Yeah, exactly. You got 3 stars.
I'm glad we're all on the same page here.
Yeah, good lord. Yeah.
So But on the first map, I was like, oh, I'm going to build a big room and shove a ton of stuff in it. And I very quickly realized, I think I just want the minimum amount of room as possible.
You did the same thing as me. Yeah. Well, in that first one, they give you so much money that you can just kind of fuck around and do whatever. And then in the second one, it's like, you're like, okay, well, I know what to do. And it's like, okay, build the second one is all like cooking themed. And so the very first thing it does is like build a kitchen. And I'm like, I'm going to build the best kitchen these students have ever seen. And then I immediately ran out of money.
You have $7.
Restart.
So on the second one, you start with half as much as you do on the first map.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, centrally, I'm going to have the dormitory, the bathroom, the shower. And I was like, right, they can have a student lounge and a staff room. And then around the outsides, I'm going to have all my stuff. And I managed to build all of my rooms, start the year, and I had like 2,000 left. And I was like, I have cut this very close. But then they still got the same thing as 2 Point Hospital, where you can bump up the value of a room by putting more things in it.
Yeah.
And in 2 Point Hospital, the way you did that was you just put posters on every single wall and every single slot. In this game, they've tried to stop you doing that, because the more you place the same object, the less value it gives to the room.
Yeah.
So after the third time, it drops off. It's just not worth it.
Oh,
but
man,
the first
I didn't know that.
Times,
I have like a dormitory in the first map with like 50 posters that say like "Go Team 2 Point Campus," like sports team.
Yeah, so the first one and the second one give like near 100%. The third one gives like 75%.
Oh no.
The fourth one will give like 5%. Like it falls off. But you get so many different posters. You're like, right, 3 of this one, 3 of the next one, 3 of this one.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, I'm enjoying that. Again, if you played 2 Point Hospital, you know what you're in for.
Yeah.
It is kind of nice having the whole year system, though.
It gives you like a clear start and end point.
Yeah,
you can. It's like a school campus year. It starts at some point. Kids come in, they do all their university stuff, and then they leave, and then you have like a small grace period to upgrade. Basically, add new courses, upgrade your courses. What do you want to do to the place whilst the students are gone?
I think my favourite thing about that is it doesn't actually change anything, but it's just a thing that it's like a mini break for you, the player. It's to break up so that you're not just doing the same thing. You've got something to look forward to, right? It doesn't actually matter, because I'm pretty sure 2 Point Hospital had award ceremonies every in-game quote-unquote year anyway.
Yeah, it definitely did, yeah.
It does kind of, I know what you mean, but it is a nice like session where I'll be like, okay, I'll just do this year, and then I'll, that's like a nice break, and then I can be like, okay, and I'm done. I'll go.
Completely psychological what it does, but it just helps make it feel not as grindy, which any management game can do. If you play it for like 2-3 hours, you're like, I've done nothing but just look at this screen. But like you finish the year and now you're like, oh, this is a good point to stop, or oh, I could do another year, or
I had one play session that was when I got 3 stars on the first map, and by the time I got the 3 stars, I was like, I am done for now.
Yeah,
it's like staring at rectangles for hours.
It's so easy to play too much and then completely burn yourself out. And I genuinely think that the year system does very well to sort that out.
I will say,
it's got that great fucking humor as well.
Oh yeah, the humor's still
it is
on
really
point.
Funny. Yeah,
I will say, I don't really know what I was expecting, but it might be a little bit too similar to 2 Point Hospital. Well, I kind of feel like it is kind of just the same game again, with a different skin and a few like the year system. Yeah, but otherwise it's like kind of the same. I don't know what I'm. Like I said, I don't know why I'm surprised.
Yeah, as someone that plays management sims and have played management games that have had sequels, it is just the same game. Normally there'll be 1 or 2 mechanical changes, but realistically, it's just a fresh coat of paint.
Yeah, good way to start the DLC train again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I will play some more. I will do the second level, especially if you say it's harder with less money. Because I think I did the first map and got all 3 stars on the first map, and I was like, there's nothing.
Yeah,
I'm not struggling. Like, is there supposed to be like
that first map is like just tutorial. You can't. You'd have to really try to mess that up.
It literally opens up and tells you like everyone's standards are lower. Everyone has plus 10% happiness on that first map.
Oh really?
Like, you
really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. You literally can't fuck up the first map.
I love what you said earlier about having like no money. I love the idea of, like a new university's just opened. And all these, like, there's, hundreds of students coming in to learn, and then there's the principal, like, standing there, and he's like, I have $1,000 to run.
He's like desperately, he's like, did I get it? Because if I haven't gotten everything, like, that was happening on the second map, I would right up to the wire it, right? And then a student would be like, I'd really like this microscope for my course. I'm like, fuck off. Come back next year.
Could we have just like a bin here in the corner?
Yeah.
No, I can't afford it. Sorry.
Absolutely not. And then it was like, or it will be like, you got exactly the right number of staff, but that means if anyone takes a break, something just shuts down. So it's like, the smoothie bar is unattended, and I'm like, that's how it's gonna fucking stay until I get another line.
The first map, I was like, smoothie bar, right? We can have 3 assistants here, just in case 2 of them go wandering or something.
The only issue I've had, and this is more personal than anything, one of the missions for the second one was like, get a grade B rating multiple times.
Yeah.
But I sorted it out efficiently enough that I'm getting A and A pluses. So I couldn't complete my quest.
Wait,
because I have to get... That counted. That counts. Because I did the same thing.
For me.
It might be that your guys just aren't progressing through their course. Because they don't all... It's like a weird system where they don't all get their grade right away. Sometimes they'll study for ages and then it'll pop up.
It took me 2 years to get the first star on the second map because I had to have 5 classes have a B grade rating.
What?
Yeah.
That sounds weird because I've done the 3 stars on the second mission. I didn't have to do anything like that.
I was literally
maybe I just made shit in classes, but
and it's one of them things where it's like because of that. It kind of, I don't want to say it soured the experience, but it built up a cash stack, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when it was finally like, right, let's do the second star mission, let's just buy 2 plots, shovel the pleasantries in, fucking science is going over here, cooking's going over there, because now I've just got the money to throw around, because I've had to wait 2 fucking years.
I find these games, I always go in like a death spiral, where I overspend, so... I take out a bunch of loans, and then I can't pay back the loans, and then I just fail.
Take loans.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's how like real businesses go bust as well. I think
that's probably it.
Yeah.
It's too real.
It's like I'm going to take out a shitload of loans. Which loan do you want? I'll take all of them. Fuck it, just give me all the money, and then I just go bust in like 2 years, and I just declare bankruptcy.
2 Point Campus. It's great, and I think it's on Game.
It's on Game Pass. That's how I'm playing it. Yeah.
I bought it on Steam, but
Yeah, you do you.
That's good. That's you propping up the games industry, Sam, while me and Josh, we all leech off it.
Absolute leeches.
I have Game Pass, so I didn't have to fucking buy it. But I don't know what it is. Like, I must be brainwashed, but if I can buy a game on Steam, I'm like, man, Steam's just going to be around for fucking forever. I'll just buy it on Steam.
You'll get more enjoyment out of that game on Steam by buying it than I will on Game Pass, because I'll just bounce off it and probably never give it the time that I would if I was to buy it.
You got none of that sunk cost fallacy or whatever.
Yeah. Whereas I'm just like, I'll play it. It was okay. Didn't really pay for it, so I'm just gonna put it to the side.
But no, it's a fantastic game. The humor is just fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, 2 Point Hospital was fantastic as well. It's just British humor.
Their reverence for whatever it's called, cheesy gubbins, is very funny. Just all the movies are based around it in that world. You know, they'll do like podcasts about it. I love it so much.
Should we move on from 2 Point Campus then?
Yeah.
Okay, so Will or Steve, have you touched anything this week?
I can jump in fast because I don't really have anything to talk about. I started playing Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity on my Switch this morning.
Okay.
And I like a good Warriors game. Holy shit, this runs badly.
Yep, that's the
and
Switch.
I feel like that's my one. Yeah, that's like my one comment whenever I talk about the thing I played on Switch. But
baby.
Holy shit! It's like you boot it up, you start the first mission, and it's already running this. And this is like the I guess they're trying to wow you, but it's like have 15 frames, and that's it.
See, to me, I'm like, on Switch it's fine. 3DS, it was awful.
Oh yeah, but that's what you get for trying to do a 3D Warriors game on a 3DS.
Yeah, it was like, you can have 10 things loaded at once on the screen when you're surrounded by 100.
Yeah.
I will say actually, when me and Matt played Dynasty Warriors 8 split screen on my PS4. My PS4 couldn't handle a Warriors game.
Yeah, that's
screen.
Like, yeah, in some ways, it's like you play through this, and I'm like, I'm shocked this runs as well as it does, but it also doesn't run very well.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I was just looking it up because it's Hyrule Warriors. It's Nintendo, but it's not made by Nintendo.
No, of course not.
That's what I'm saying. Is whereas Nintendo are somewhat usually good, like frame rate, and they try and somewhat keep it decent. Like this obviously goes out the window. It's like
yeah. But beyond that, I'm shocked at how much they've put, how much of Zelda Breath of the Wild is in this. Like the UI is ripped straight from Zelda.
Yeah.
It's got all the little Sheikah Slate stuff in it. It's got big boss fights that I've seen so far. The characters are pretty fun.
I never played this, but it's the story before Breath of the Wild, right?
It's a prequel.
The prequel to Breath of the Wild. Yeah. There's some time travel shenanigans. I don't know how that plays out, but we'll see.
I have played this. I will say this Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity is very, very specific to Breath of the Wild. If you want a more general Zelda Dynasty Warriors clone, the other Hyrule Warriors is where you'll be get the most enjoyment out of. But this one is if you've played Breath of the Wild and you like the Warriors games, this is the game for you. If you like Zelda in general, the other Hyrule Warriors is the way to go.
Well, they marketed it as they pushed the fact that it was a prequel, front and center. They were like, "You want more Breath of the Wild shit? Play this. This is going to have your prequel story. It's going to have all your cool characters."
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, you say,
it's good. It's giving me a weird nostalgia for Breath of the Wild when something. It's a boblin, and it has all the little chimes, and when you pick up an item, it does the kind of little, and I'm like, I remember Breath of the Wild. That was great. I can't wait for Breath of the Wild 2. But yeah, boy, it takes some getting used to. It does not run very well.
I'm scared to go back and ever check out Breath of the Wild again, in case I just actually hate the Switch now, and I'm like, was Breath of the Wild always this funky looking or?
Yeah.
I tried to play this split screen with Aaron, using the 2 tiny Joy-Cons, and it was miserable.
I can imagine that. Yeah.
I think I'm at the point now where I'm so close to just buying brand new Switch games and then just leaving them wrapped up on the shelf and just playing on a PC emulator instead.
Yeah.
Just because games just run so bad now on Switch.
Because we were playing this and I was like, I'm enjoying this. I just wish if this was on PC and we could play local co-op or even online co-op, this would be a fantastic game.
Well, it's like I think it was Xenoblade 3. I think it's emulatable, and it's because you go on YouTube. Certain gameplay
already.
Yeah, certain gameplay will just be 1080p, 60 FPS, Xenoblade 3. And I'm like, this is not the Switch version, because I'm watching Laura play the Switch version. It does not look as nice as this.
Alright.
So, yeah, I've said before that I just want some kind of Switch Pro that doesn't even have better graphics. It just plays at a high frame rate, at a high resolution, at a locked frame rate. That's all I want,
Well, they gave us an enhanced Switch console, but it was just basically one for handheld. It only improved handheld of the Switch, which was mind-boggling.
Yeah, just, something that just doesn't even do native 4K. Just something that a slightly more powerful Switch that up-reses to 4K.
Yeah,
please.
Because I don't need the handheld mode.
Yeah, I don't need that. I don't use it handheld at all.
Give me a main. Yeah. Whatever you can unlock with like built-in cooling or whatever. I don't know what it is that you need, but just give it some horsepower or something. Because it's like I just want this game to run at a stable 30 would be nice.
So much to ask.
60. Is that too much to ask? Yeah.
Gone back to the time where like you play Majora's Mask on N64 and it ran at like 15 FPS half the time. You're like, okay, that's fine. And
I think I'll get. If I keep playing, I think I'll get used to it because I remember ages ago I went back and played Destiny on console, and I was like, oh god, going from a 144 hertz monitor to 30 FPS was like it's like a shock. But then you kind of like you're like, oh no, I can
get used to it.
I played this for years. I can get used to it. Yeah. So we'll see.
I put 50 to 60 hours into Monster Hunter Rise on Switch.
Yeah.
And that was like 720p 30 FPS on my big TV. And then obviously playing it on PC now, it's like, oh my god, it looks so much better. And then if I ever go through my Switch screenshots and see like me showing off my character from the Switch version, I'm like, oh my god, it's a blurry mess.
Yeah,
it's so bad.
Yeah, I also think if I'm gonna keep doing this, I need to buy either a Pro controller or
you do.
I mean, I'm gonna buy a Pro controller because holy shit, those Joy-Cons are annoying the shit out of me. There's one move a character has where they like throw a bomb. It's very simple. They just throw a bomb dead ahead of them. But for some reason, my fucking Joy-Cons, they pull like to the left every time. So I'll go to do a move and he'll just like 180 and throw it in the wrong direction. I'm like, oh, I want to throw these out the window. This is so frustrating.
Laura takes the Switch sort of to and fro when she goes to visit her mum. She likes playing Pokemon Unite. And she takes the Pro controller with her. And she occasionally leaves it there and forgets to bring it back. And then when she's playing Unite here with the Joy-Cons, she's always just swearing up a storm because she's like, fucking Joy-Cons, this is shit.
Yeah, I posit that they are the worst controllers for any console of all time. That's my hot take.
I mean, they break a lot, but the worst would have to be the N64 controller, right?
I had no problems with that controller when I was a kid.
Hand issues.
Oh, that was Mario. That was Mario Party's fault.
Oh, what you mean the spinning of the stick?
Yeah. I got blisters just like anyone else. Okay, from the N64 controller. But that was the game, not the controller. Yeah, it only made me stronger.
Yeah, my Switch is basically broken now. The fan has completely stopped. I think I've mentioned it before, but the fan is completely stopped. I can't get 15 minutes into a single game without it turning off. And I'm not buying another one. I refuse to buy another Switch until they do some kind of 4K one.
Yeah, that's almost like the problem isn't going to get better, but with the Joy-Cons or the state of the Switch. But also, it's like I feel indignant towards it, to where I'm like, I'm not paying to fix this problem. That was Nintendo's fault. Like, I'm not going to do anything about it. I'm just going to complain about it on my podcast.
I think you can send the Joy-Cons off for free to get them repaired. I think there was like a lawsuit,
but then they'd come back and still be Joy-Cons, wouldn't they?
True.
There was a news article a while back where they said, I think it was November of last year, and they said the Nintendo Switch was halfway through its life cycle. Bear in mind, it had been out for like, quite a long time. And I think as soon as I read that, because I was like, that was around the time where everyone was talking about a Switch Pro.
Yeah.
And then the article comes out and it's like, oh, we're only halfway through, so you can expect another 5 years of the Switch. And I think I physically went like, fuck off. Just give me something new, goddammit. I'm ready to move on.
Yeah. It makes me, like playing this was like, I really am looking forward to Breath of the Wild 2, but I'm really not looking forward to playing Breath of the Wild 2 on my Switch. It's because I'm like, just put Breath of the Wild on fucking PS4 or something, and then give it some real oomph. Then you could make something really cool.
It's not fair playing anything on PS5 or Xbox Series X or PC, and then going to try and play like anything on Switch. It's just not fair. It's not fair. It's not even close anymore.
Such a jarring experience, isn't it? Yeah.
It was. We were at the point.
I press the on button. The menu's going fucking nuts because I've got stick drift and the cursor's flying all over the screen, and everything, even like everything's running at like sub 30 with frame dips, and it's like.
It was when the Switch came out, they were already behind in graphics, but it was like it's okay because it's not that far behind, right? It's like a little bit far behind, but look, it's handheld. You can take it around. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, and it's got Nintendo magic too, where they managed to make their games look insanely good on their own hardware somehow.
And now, as the years have passed, it's not close anymore. It feels like almost parallel to the Nintendo Wii. When the Wii came out, and it was like, slightly worse graphics, but look, it's got new Zelda game, it's got motion controls that are good with it, you know. And then as the years pass and the PS3 and Xbox 360 start getting really good online games and this, that, and the other, and it's like, the Wii's just got shovelware and the odd first party game.
Yeah.
It feels exactly like that. The more I think about it,
Well, and all the big studios have dropped support because they can't be bothered. To try and pare their games down to run on Switch. Yeah.
It's like the game that I'm excited about, Pokemon, that's coming out. I still think I look at it, the screenshots, and I'm like, it looks like garbage. Like,
it looks awful,
graphics wise. Yeah,
it'll be a good game, but it looks awful, and it will run awful. I assume.
Just Nintendo put your stuff on PC.
Well, there you go. There's our weekly moan about the Switch.
Tune in next week when we complain again.
I gotta stop doing it to myself.
It was Metroid Dread last week and how shit the Switch is. Now it's Hyrule Warriors and how shit the Switch is.
Because I just thought Metroid Dread was like the limit, you know, where it's like it doesn't run great and it doesn't look fantastic, but it's fine. I'm not, you know, it's worth commenting on, but it's not a deal breaker. And then I booted up this and I was like, oh no.
It can always be worse.
The best thing going forward is I don't think you can get worse than a Warriors game for frame rate.
That's true.
If there's anything that's going to test you, it's a Warriors game.
Well, I'm kind of curious, like if I go rent like Doom Eternal or something, or I don't know, so, you know, some AAA game ported down to the Switch, like what does that look like? You know, because I've heard mixed things where it's like, there's actually magic being done here, and you can play whatever Assassin's Creed or I don't know, and it runs fine. And
I've heard that it's not magic in the sense that it looks good; it's magic in the sense that it runs at all. And I'm kind of over it, where it's like, oh look, we got Witcher 3 running on Switch. Isn't that insane? And it looks terrible and runs at like 2 FPS. And I'm like, I don't care.
Like, I'm happy these people have jobs with this like weird pioneering art of getting these ridiculous games down onto the Switch. Like, I think that's a great science. I'm glad someone's doing it. I just don't. Yeah, I'm not into it.
If someone's first Doom or Doom Eternal experience is playing it on Joy-Cons at 720p at 30 FPS, I feel sorry for you.
Yeah.
Because that's not what the game is. It's the same with Witcher. Like, The Witcher I know The Witcher 3 being amazing is kind of like a meme, but like this massive open world that's vast, that looks really gorgeous, and all these like, you know, convoluted storylines. And then just on the Switch, it's just like a grainy, blurry mess. It's just not the same game as far as I'm concerned.
All right, I'm going to do it. I'm going to rent. I'm gonna find the most AAA of AAA games, and I'm gonna rent it for Switch and see what it looks like.
The two that I hear about are the ones I just said. It's either Doom or Doom Eternal. I can't remember which one, but it's one of the Dooms, and it's The Witcher 3.
Okay.
So you can't go wrong with them.
I can do that.
That'd be really funny. I mean, I know the outcome already, but it's still gonna be fun. What have you been doing, Steve?
I've just played a little Tower of Fantasy. It's Breath of the Wild. It's basically that, you know, that with gacha.
It's like is it literally like the same sort of combat?
Is it Genshin again?
It's Genshin. It's basically Genshin again. Yeah. So I haven't played too much of it because, like, unfortunately, there's no re-rolling in this. You'd like need to do it with like different emails. I'm like, that's too much for me. Yep. You have to do it on different emails or go on a different server.
Why would they be so against that? That's like a massive part of gacha.
I do not know, but like on the first server I played on, I got some terrible rolls, and then I was like, we should go, you know. But that server seemed mostly Russian, so I did some research, and it was like, Excalibur, it seems to be the way to go for English speaking. So made on that and got some okay rolls, but I was a bit disappointed I couldn't re-roll. So it was like, what I've got is what I've got. And it's basically, it's Breath of the Wild / Genshin Impact. It's pretty good for what it is. The one big difference from Genshin Impact, though, is that you actually customize your main character. But a downside of that is that your main character, for some reason, will always look cross-eyed, especially if you pick the male. Again, the default just looked cross-eyed. So then I customized it, made my character. He looked fine. Get into the game, suddenly looked cross-eyed again. Made on the second server. It was like, okay, I'm gonna make sure that the eyes are different, and I'm gonna make them spiralize, so it doesn't really matter. It still looks cross-eyed to me. I'm not sure if it's my PC or
the one thing I am gonna say is, you said this to our friend group, so we all did character creation and. Like, apart from obviously attempting to make a character cross-eyed, we couldn't replicate it. We don't see it.
I like even the default character. Maybe it's just like the width of my monitor or something, but it just my characters look derpy to me, or my main character at least.
I'm playing on ultra wide, and now my characters are cross-eyed.
His ultra wide curved monitor.
I played a little bit of this game this week, but it was like, I had to wait in queue, and it kicked me out of the queue. So I managed to get in, make my character, play 10 minutes, and I was like, well, I need to go to bed, play more tomorrow, and then I ended up playing 2 Point Campus and Starcraft.
Yeah.
But
how do you play this? I've got a Steam page, but it's not available on Steam.
You have to go to their own website.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it will be on Steam later on. It's also on mobile. Again, it's okay for what it is, but it's nothing that I haven't seen before from Genshin Impact. So I'm like, and it's a time investment as well, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I just want to see what it's like, because it's an MMO, right? That's the bit I want to get to.
They're saying it's not an MMO, but there are other players out in the world that you see, you know, it feels very MMO-y.
Well, that's not like Genshin then. Genshin's solo, isn't it? Unless you invite people. So this is like...
I mean, you can play it like Genshin, you know?
Yeah.
I didn't really play Genshin, but this, like, I don't believe it has, like, character swapping, but it might.
Yeah, Genshin was you had a team of, like, 4, and you could swap between them, and that's what you rolled for, right? The characters and the weapons they have. And there's like elemental stuff in Genshin. I have no idea what Tower Fantasy plays like.
Maybe you do swap between characters. I mean, there's a screenshot with 4 different character names there.
Yeah,
maybe. But it's an action RPG, so it's already a struggle for me to play it. But I want to give it the time of day because Genshin, I missed the train on. But people that played it was like, Genshin is actually fun. It was just, you know, it was a gacha game at the end of the day. Once you got through the starter content, you had to play the gacha game.
Actually, Genshin's doing their 3.0 launch soon. Like they're doing Genshin's doing a massive big update like very, very soon. And apparently also there's been like news stories like, oh, it's the most expensive game out there is Genshin Impact.
I hear nothing but good things about Genshin from the people that actually play it.
I hear good things, but it's also you see them, like you see streamers and they're like, I've spent 4 million on this game to try get this one character sort of thing, you know?
Yeah, that's from what I hear.
It'll be like, I love this game. I've put $8,000 into it.
Yeah.
From what I understand about Genshin is it's only expensive if you really roll for characters, which I know is just gacha full stop, right? But I think you can play the entirety of what Genshin offers without paying.
You can play it without it. It's the main thing is that you need a character of each element really to do like some puzzle stuff, which is not too difficult to get. Even with like the free rolls you get, it's just once you get to the end, like once you've done the Breath of the Wild explory part, you get to the end game, which is all of a sudden you're limited by daily rolls to do dungeons and stuff, and it's kind of like a job at that point, you know.
I would like to get to the point where you do the end game stuff in a group and everyone's free to play, so everything should be hard because you're not spending money on gacha.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I would like to get to that stage because I think that could be quite cool. It just depends whether the game will.
But it's also
it's an action RPG, and I dislike them.
Yeah. Also, the combat, like it's okay. It's very simple for like if you're like like if you think dailies, I immediately think of like MMOs, like bigger MMOs where you have like a quite a in-depth customization for like your character. Well for combat, but for this, it's like you're pressing right, left click,
They're
and
kind
then you're
of
pressing
Warriors
Q
games,
once in a while.
aren't they? Now I think about it, they're kind of Warriors-esque.
When it's an action RPG, I think it's less of like how many buttons you have to press, and it's actually more of how it feels.
That's true, but I'm just saying when you get to the end game,
it feels really nice.
Yeah, but when you get to the end game and you're doing it every day, that's when I'm like, oh, it could use a bit more.
I mean, it depends. You don't have to play it every day.
Yeah.
Also, you can fully just do the exploring and the story and be done.
I think the other thing to say is as well is a lot of people would argue, oh, if I have to log on and do all my dailies every day, I don't want everything to be like a 54 button combo every time I want to maximize DPS.
I can get that.
So,
I guess because it's also for mobile players, so it's got to be very simple for them.
So I don't. The fact that you only really have 1, 2, maybe 3 buttons to actually press to worry about to do your combos, I don't think is a bad thing. The whole the big thing is what I'll go back to is, does it feel fluid? Does it feel fast? Because I think if you're an action RPG in this day and age, you have to be. You cannot be a slow.
Well, like
clunky...
when I played, like Genshin felt good to play. It just didn't.
Yeah.
It's like there was no avenue for expression in that system. Like there's no. It doesn't demand anything of you, and there's no room for like mastery of anything in that game. It's like you just press buttons.
If I was to compare it, when I think of Monster Hunter, every time you do a hunt and someone joins, you're like, that dude's got a bow gun. Monster Hunter kind of has that thing where you're like, oh, okay, I've got a sword and a shield guy, I've got a bowgun guy, and that guy's got a hammer. And there's that like, cool, right? There's some uniqueness going around. Whereas every time I've seen Genshin, to be very particular, okay, everyone is using the same 4 or 5 characters.
It's like different characters, but they're
moves.
Just window dressing because they all do the same. They all have the same function. Like yeah.
So when you say like expression, I'm hoping like again in Monster Hunter, you could have 4 hammer users, and all 4 of those guys could have different hammers.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. There's no room for that in Genshin. Your character will play the same as every other character, or every other person playing that character.
Yeah.
Well, Monster Hunter always comes down to just the fact that because it's made by Capcom, you can feel like the fighting game history in Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, each like weapon is like a different fighting game character, more or less. They have their own moves, combos. They play differently, and same way with a fighting game. You can have 1 million people play the same character, and they'll all play a little bit differently if it's a good fighting game.
This is almost like you are building the depth comes from building your team and statting them beforehand, and then the combat itself is almost like a formality,
Yeah. Which what I'm hoping Tower of Fantasy won't be, but we'll see.
I might pick it up at some point. I think I've downloaded it on mobile, but I've not started it.
I'm gonna try it right after this. I've got it right here.
Yeah, the whole reroll thing is really odd. I've never heard of a popular gacha game doing that.
When I went into it, I was like, I'm gonna try and just not care. If I get shit pulls, I get shit pulls. I'm not. I'm gonna try and not play it like a gacha game. I'm gonna play it like an MMO.
Yeah.
And then see how far I can get before I burn out.
See, for me, I did the initial pulls on the first server, which was the wrong server, but I got 3 of the same character, who was like an epic unit. Whereas then when I did it on the main server, which I'm on now, I got like 3 different epic units plus a legendary unit, and then I was like, oh, so I get like different variety in gameplay. Because you get lower weapons, but no one really wants to use those. You want to use the epic or the legendary weapons, and if they, it's a big difference if you get like some mix of powerful ones early on to 3 of the exact same one, which 2 of then just gets re-rolled into materials. 2 of them. So
yeah, but I've never heard of a gacha game completely stopping you from re-rolling. I've seen ones that make it harder,
I bet they'd like to.
Or no, it's ultimately they don't. I think they somewhat encourage it, right? Or they don't discourage it, because if someone's rolling for their perfect team, they're probably going to hang around when they find it, right?
I guess, yeah. I guess it doesn't.
I've seen I can't remember which one it is because she's played a few, but I've seen Laura play a few gacha games where sometimes to do a re-roll, you have to like uninstall the game and reinstall it, which is that's as hard as it gets. Whereas other ones I've seen her play where it's like there's a button. Yeah, there's a button built. You do a pull, and it's like, do you like it? You hit no, and it does it again, and you can just keep doing it over and over till you get what you want.
One final thing I will say about this though is even though like you tie your email to it, so you know once your email is tied, that's that account locked in. Once you finish all the new player quests, you do get a thing which lets you get one role of your choice. That is like the redeeming factor is that you can get the character that you were going for just the once, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah,
give you that little bit of crack.
Just a little bit of crack. Just a tiny bit of crack.
What's the best? Who's the best character? What's the character to go for at the moment, Steve?
I have not done the research. All I know is that it's like 90% female characters, 10% male characters, which you would think is the way to go. But I know a lot of girls do play this, and they like their husbandos. Like the male characters are usually very popular in these types of games. So it is surprising that it is mostly girls.
The correct answer is this big red robot that's on screen right now.
Oh hell yeah!
That's what you want to go for. I'm going to move us on from World of Final Fantasy, whatever it's called.
World of Tower Fantasy.
Yeah, we'll go into some news. We were talking about fighting games a minute ago. You know, like Monster Hunter and stuff. There was obviously when we did the podcast last week, we were smack bang in the middle of Evo, and all the cool shit happened as soon as we finished.
Who won Evo this year, Josh?
Everyone did because there's so much cool news.
Guilty Gear.
Nice.
You had
watching Cell's intro.
Oh
and
my god!
Oh,
so there's like a in-tournament meme for Dragon Ball Fighter Z where Cell, the big green motherfucker from Dragon Ball Z. His intro is he stands there all cool, and he just screams at the top of his lungs, and the crowd always does it with him every time at tournaments, just because it's it's just like a crowd thing. And I think it was during one of the important sets. Don't know if it's the final or not, but one of the important sets towards the end, the whole crowd was getting ready, and the player skipped the intro, and everyone is just straight up like,
they literally quit out and then redid it. Went through character select.
They quit out and redid it just to get the intro. It's so good. It's so good.
That's funny.
That was a cool moment. The announcements that we missed. We had all the rollback stuff last week. We talked about, but there's a new Fatal Fury game coming. That's pretty cool. Most people probably won't know. If you're into modern fighting games, you might not know a lot about Fatal Fury, but it's like
that's the one where you take pictures of ghosts, right?
Yeah, your brain. That's what I was thinking of.
I can't beat that, so we're gonna move on from that. Tekken 8, or I suppose a new Tekken project, might be like a new tag game, whatever. New Tekken coming. There's literally that picture of Kazuya that says "Get ready."
Oh, is that where he's smirking?
Yeah. So the video is the old PS1 version, where the camera zooms in and he smiles, and it transitions to that. That's kind of funny. New trailer for Street Fighter 6 with the new character Kimberly and Jury. Oh my god, man, Jury looks so good in this game.
So I saw
Jury looks good in every game.
Discord.
You're correct.
But okay, everyone's freaking out about Jury, but I booted up Twitter the morning after Evo ended, and Josh had liked about 9 fan arts of Kimberly, and I was like, Josh
really?
Just found a new mate.
Oh no, it's so basically the actual Street Fighter account was retweeting them, and I was like, I love all of these. So
she's a cool character, yeah. I like looking at her.
Jury looks insanely good. I've got to say, I think this is definitely the first Street Fighter game that's used all their newer face tech.
Yeah.
Because the Resident Evil remakes, like RE2 remake and stuff like that, they all have really good faces.
And
this is just the first one where I just think,
what's that? Is it called the RE engine? Is that what
it is? Yeah, they're using that. I'm pretty sure that does this game run the RE engine? I don't know. One of you look
It's
it up
on
quick.
some kind of engine.
RE engine, Tekken? Fucking hell.
It's either the RE engine or it's Unreal Engine 5.
Yes, it is, apparently.
fucking
Franchise
love
moves to
Jury.
the RE engine.
But yeah, Jury just looks insanely good.
Yeah.
I need this game right now. It is insane how much I need this game. There's like it's not in the news today, but there's a Street Fighter thing in September that they've said there's 2 different...
Release date?
No, I wish. It's like an event where they might announce some kind of beta, hopefully.
Yeah.
That was one. So that was one big announcement from Evo. The Guilty Gear Strive announcement was Bridget as a playable character.
You linked this song, the song.
Oh yeah, the song is great.
I have been listening to it on repeat. Now all I get in my YouTube recommendations is Bridget videos because it's like I've just listened to this song so much. It is so good.
Yeah, she's been a fan favorite for ages. She wasn't in Xrd, so she hasn't been in the game in ages, which makes people more excited, right?
Flying unrestrained with yo-yo mastery. I want that on my gravestone.
But yeah, that was a really cool announcement. I think was that it? I think that was it. Those were the big ones that we missed, basically. New Fatal Fury, new Tekken, new Street Fighter stuff, and new Guilty Gear Strive. Oh my god, there's so much cool fighting game shit. This is what I said, I think it was like last week or a few weeks ago, about how they weren't getting stale, but fighting games were kind of, the current arc is on the way out, and we're waiting for the next big wave of all the new games.
Isn't it weird how there is like peaks and troughs in the fighting game world?
Yeah.
Like, I always find that funny that it's like now we're all, Street Fighter 5, Tekken 7, it's all run its course, and now we're gonna get like if they announce a new Soul Calibur next week, that would be, that's like the big 3, isn't it?
basically, it's like you say, it's all these older games getting rolled back, plus all these trailers for new games coming out. It's really like getting me hyped up again.
Mm-hmm.
I won't go into this here as well, but I talked last week about an article that goes into a shitload of depth about like delay-based code and rollback netcode. I finally found it, and if I just show a few like pages quickly, there's like GIFs that explain how it all works. And
oh yeah, I saw you link that. I need to read through that because I saw a small article last week and I still could not wrap my brain around it.
This article is amazing. It's really, really good.
Yeah.
Good.
It's like,
and that'll be linked in the comments, right?
Yeah, it will be. Yeah. It's one of those things where the visual component really helps this whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was that one. You then had Splatoon 3 had a Nintendo Direct. I'm gonna need your help a lot with this, Steve, because I didn't actually watch it.
You didn't?
I know bits and pieces. What were your key takeaways?
Well, the main thing that everyone cares about is the new musical group.
Yes,
that got announced.
Deep Cut,
which includes Fire, Shiver, and Big Man.
Man.
Everyone loves Big Man. Shiver's okay, and everyone thinks Fire has a massive forehead.
I was like big, like manatee, like big manatee.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I didn't make that connection. I thought it was literally just Big Man because that sounds cool.
Wow, she does have a big forehead. Yeah. Is that the new character?
Yeah, Galaxy
that's
Brain.
Fire.
Oh my god. That ain't right.
But
put out its misery.
Yeah.
Other
than that, they did announce some really good things. That they have announced that in this game there'll be like dashes and dodge rolls almost, kind of.
Sick.
Which is a step up from the previous Splatoons. They've announced that basically there's going to be new abilities. Every single weapon and ability from older games is going to be in this game. There's going to be 12 stages at launch with 2 years planned of free updates. They are going to be planning some big paid DLCs. Now, that's I'm assuming is going to be similar to the Octo expansion.
Yeah, Path of the Octolings, I think it was called. Yeah, in the previous game.
They've announced some new weapons for this game, which is like there's a bow now, and there's also like a katana sword as well.
Oh, sick!
It looked really cool. They're bringing back Salmon Run, which is like the PvE mode. co-op.
Think of like Gears of War Horde mode, but with squids.
And one of the big things that they announced was Splatfest is actually going to have 3 teams this time around rather than the
trio turf wars.
Trios, where it's going to be that each team will like fight each other, and then whichever team is winning, it will be that team versus 2 from the blue and 2 from the yellow. Like, say it's the red team is winning, it'll be 2 from the blue and 2 from the yellow team, both fighting the enemy team to like try take them down. So it just looks really interesting.
I had a great time with Splatoon 2. I thought that game was really fun. I'm looking forward to playing this. I think a thing to remind people as well, is because people seem to forget, is Splatoon games now also have quite a hefty single-player campaign as well.
Yes.
Everyone always talks about the multiplayer and this, that, and the other, but they have a pretty decent single-player, like level-based campaign.
Okay. Yeah. Splatoon's one of those games where it's like, I'm excited. Well, I'm a little bit excited for it, but I'm not like frothing at the mouth for it. So I'm like, do I buy it? Do I not buy it? But it's always best at launch. So, and I always do have a good time with it, but I know I'm not going to, I know I'm going to play it for a couple of weeks and then it's going to be gathering dust.
Oh yeah, it's like
when I played 2 at launch, and I found it weird that it was like, it felt like it wanted to be my forever game, like a Siege or a Counter-Strike, And it's like this weird children's game, not children's game, but like it's clearly geared young. It's skewed young, like all Nintendo games are. But
I've always said that.
I just thought it was weird.
I've always said that. I think it's a crime that this game is stuck on Switch. Nothing to do with, had that conversation already, but nothing about graphics or anything aside. I think, just this game on other platforms, say like PC or whatever, as like a game.
This game as a small, like maybe not free to play, maybe you still have to buy it, but like on Steam would be massive.
It would do really well.
Yeah.
But it's just for whatever reason. Oh, not for whatever reason. It's Nintendo, so it's on Switch. But
it's even for like an FPS. It's like my younger cousin loves to play this because as an FPS, you don't need to fight other players. You can just literally paint the ground.
Yeah,
you can aim at the ground and still.
It's a really cool premise.
Team.
Yeah. Even when you miss, you're helping.
Or you're helping more.
Yeah.
I'll play this.
They announced like all the shopkeepers are different now, and there'll be lots of fan art of this, I reckon.
Oh yeah, I always love Splatoon fan art because of the nature of the game. People always get really colourful with the fan art.
What my favourite thing about this though was Josh in one of the Discords posted like a Twitter from someone being like, can we leave Pearl alone now, who was from Splatoon 2, because people said she had a massive forehead. And then I see on Twitter the next day that Josh was liking so many posts about Fire having a massive forehead.
Her forehead is...
You're the problem. You're the problem, Josh.
I didn't like Pearl at first. I thought the designs were kind of weird from Splatoon 2.
Yeah.
But now like...
they're iconic.
Don't realise how good we had it. So I don't like these 2 new characters.
I think Shiver looks fine. I think she's meant to be part shark, which might be a hint towards one of the DLCs, because Marina was part Octoling, and then later on we got an Octoling expansion where we could play Octoling characters, and now Octolings are part of the base game, and this new character is part shark. So
this is some deep Splatoon lore.
The Splatoon lore goes deep.
I want to stop this because this is going to push out useful knowledge in my head.
It goes deep. I can't remember my nan's name.
But it looks good. It's out in a couple weeks.
3 weeks.
Oh wow, really?
3 weeks.
I think so.
Oh, I thought this was like long way off kind of announcement.
September the 9th. Which is,
Do you see everything else? I don't know if this is in the news, but with everything else getting delayed, do you think it's I want to call it Octopath. What am I talking about? Splatoon. I think this is the Splatoon going to carry us through the holiday season this year because nothing else is coming.
It might do. I still find it funny how Nintendo's the only games company I know who have been like, we're bringing our game release forward because it's just ready early.
Yeah.
Where everyone else is delaying.
Yeah, so welcome to the podcast for the 6th week in a row. The game I played this week is Splatoon 3. I am 500 hours deep.
From September to January, I have mastered Splatoon.
Yeah, I am master rank.
Yeah.
Although you say that, we've got some interesting releases this week, so we'll talk about those later.
Oh yeah, I want to cap off this Splatoon 3. Splatoon 3 very quickly. I got the picture of Marina here, and I always thought it was really weird. She always looked really worried all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why.
Well, she's a baddie, isn't she?
Someone actually, we were talking about the characters, and someone posted about why does she look worried, and I said, well, because her partner is the little gremlin right next to her.
That is true. I'd be worried if I had to hang out with that baby for a longer time.
I ship these characters of this weird little female gremlin with your imp, Steve.
No.
Right, what else we got? How do you follow that on? I'll tell you how you follow on that. You go Goku in Fortnite.
Others.
I think this got leaked.
This is going to sound super dismissive, but my first reaction was like, is he not already?
Yeah, it's because we got Naruto in already.
That might be what I'm thinking of.
It's gotten crazy now. It's literally at the point where you can have a team of, it'll be Goku, LeBron James, Darth Vader, and Naruto.
Batman.
I'll never forget that time we played Fortnite and we had 4 flavors of Spider-Man all teabagging us at once. That was a real... that's seared in my brain, that image.
I just remember back to when the Marvel, it was such big news that Marvel did a crossover with Fortnite, and now look at Fortnite. It's basically done crossovers with everyone but Nintendo.
That was amazing because I think it was when Infinity War just dropped at cinema, and they added Thanos and his own game mode.
No big game companies did no big franchises did crossovers with game companies. It was always a game company might do another crossover with another game company. So it was unheard of.
Or Smash Bros was insane for years and years and years because it was one of the only game series where it was look at all these characters that aren't together.
And even then, it was all games as well. So it was you were promoting our game on your game, whereas this was just Marvel was basically movies.
And now it's everything is multiverse now, right? Every single game. It's they put fucking Tubi from Nier Automata into Fall Guys, and I'm like, yeah, whatever, don't care.
That's the biggest thing. I see this and I just it means nothing to me anymore.
Exactly.
I can't believe it hadn't happened already.
Always turns out that just combining your massive properties together makes even more money. Who would have thought? This will get people will burn out. Well, people already are, I guess. Not burning out, but like you say, it's just cool. Whatever.
They don't mean the announcements don't mean anything anymore. Maybe if they brought Star Fox in, that would get me hyped.
It's I haven't been excited about an announcement as much as I was for Cloud and Smash. That was the crossover that I was like, but ever since then it's all the Smash reveals I've been okay. Anything in Fortnite I've been okay,
Well, again, Cloud and Smash was all pre multiverse, crossover stuff.
Yeah,
I thought Minecraft Steve was pretty hyped. That was the one that made me laugh.
It was pretty hyped, but that was also the one where a lot of people online were like, "Oh, it's Minecraft. I don't like Minecraft. I'm anti-Minecraft because I don't like fun."
Yeah.
So it's kind of a mixed bag. True.
Don't listen to them.
So really, we can trace this all back to Shovel Knight, right? That was the
Shovel Knight being in everything.
Yeah.
Shovel Knight
paved the way.
I get it.
There was a point where Shovel Knight was in every single indie game, basically.
Yeah.
True.
You play ukulele for 5 minutes, and you walk down a path, and you're like, "Motherfucker, there he is again."
He's here again. Yeah.
Or you play some other random, tactical RPG made by an indie dev of 2 people, and it's like, "Oh, there he is again." Fuck's sake.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think announcements like these, obviously I don't get excited for Goku being in Fortnite. What I do find funny is what is going to happen, which is all the images of just Goku running around with a shotgun or an AK.
Yes. That's the funniest part, yeah.
Because that's what happened when they put Street Fighter in Fortnite. is all the images of like Ryu with a shotgun and like captions like parry this fucking casual.
I love that phrase.
It's just stuff like that.
Ariana Grande mowing down a team of enemies.
That's the shit that I like. So,
it is funny that it's like, because Smash Bros makes perfect sense to have all these crossovers, but like Fortnite, a game where you all run around with AKs shooting each other, it's like, why does that get everything? You know, it's so weird. It's so jarring.
I'm ready for all the screenshots of Krillin with a shotgun capping Batman. But yeah, so that's that one.
It is hype.
Yeah.
You know, it's not for me. I'm not a Fortnite or a Dragon Ball fan, but it is very cool.
The memes and pictures for a couple of days will be really funny when this comes out.
They'll be really funny. Yeah.
I've seen some people being like, "Why does Goku need a gun?" And the meme at the moment is Goku's out of key. He's not out of options.
I've already seen ones of like Goku with like, it's a scene where he's got his palm out and he's doing a bunch of like, you know, fireballs or whatever, but someone's just, you know, editing a gun instead. And he's just shooting a gun at someone that's just like getting blasted. But yeah, I look forward to that. There'll be a couple of days of just really good memes and captions. So yeah, off of that, you've then got Hogwarts Legacy. It's technically delayed. It's February 10th now for the new big Harry Potter game.
I'm still don't know how to feel about this game.
I'm not shocked in the slightest that it's delayed. It was.
Oh no, every game gets delayed.
Shut the fuck up. I was talking to someone at work the other day, and he asked when it was coming out, and I looked it up, and it just said 2022, and the fact that, you know, we're now like mid-August. If I see a game, it's like, yeah, we're coming out in 2022. It's like, no, you're not, because there's no concrete date.
There's
no way.
Yeah, if anything says just 2022, and
you're 2/3 of the way in the year. There's no way.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is coming out. I think this will be cool. I mean, everything they've shown so far looks good enough.
Yeah, it looks neat. Yeah.
I'm like, it looks cool. I might play it, but I'm just more waiting to see the shitstorm online.
I don't think it'll
drama.
I don't think it'll be as bad as you think it is.
I don't know.
Just stay off Twitter for a week.
Oh no! I want to see the drama.
I see. Okay.
So you're a drama fiend, basically.
Yeah, basically.
I don't think it'll be as bad as you think it is. I think this game will come out. If this game reviews really well, it'll completely go under the radar. Like all the controversy.
If it's a good game, it will. People will just be like, I don't care. It's a good game. If it's got some flaws, that's when it's going to be like, you know, probably people will be like, that's my entry into moaning, you know.
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, it's like people will find
about it.
This will be the fuel for the fire.
Yeah.
Yes.
If it's anything less than perfect, that might be why they delayed it.
We all know games are getting delayed because we're still feeling COVID and the pandemic and working from home and things like that. Do you think anyone's just quietly delaying it so they don't have to fight Elden Ring for Game of the Year?
I don't think
anyone just going along with it, where they're like, we could launch in December, but we'll just...
I think
you go, Steve.
I think there might be a couple of games that might overtake. Elden Ring has been out for a while now, you know. Unless it gets like DLC right around the time of Game of the Year, where people can pick it up again. I'm like, what's going
to be Elden Ring apart from Vampire Survivors, obviously?
Yeah, Vampire. Yeah, you just said it. It's Vampire Survivors.
Stray reviewed very well. I don't think it deserved it, but
come on,
you know,
Stray. Come on.
Nothing is going to come close to Elden Ring, despite the fact that I definitely wouldn't put it as my. I can't not give it praise. You know what I mean?
We're not getting into Elden Ring again. But I don't think anyone here is. We weren't particularly. We're not Game of the Year Elden Ring champions, are we?
Yeah, I guess actually nothing has come close to the hype that Elden Ring got. But
despite the fact that I think all of us can see its flaws, shall we say, all of us can also still accept that it is a really
it would be in my top 5, maybe top 10.
The other games, so I'm just scrolling through a list of games now, like the best of 2022, and there's not a whole lot basically going on this year.
That's a good point. Yeah, it's been kind of a weak year for me.
There's a couple
apart from Vampire Survivors.
Apart from Vampire Survivors, there's a couple of good games here.
There's Pokemon coming out, but I feel that's probably going to be past Game of the Year. We're in November.
I think there'll be a lot of like personal Game of the Years for people this year. There's lots of like little games that are really, really good.
Oh, could I forget Diablo Immortal Game of the Year?
Oh yeah, Game of the Year. Yeah.
Oh, Neon White is Game of the Year. Of course it is.
Overwatch 2.
But as far as just like a blanket game for every like type of person that plays games, Elden Ring is going to be there.
Yeah, Elden Ring is going to win everything, basically. I think, but I don't think you would delay a game so that you're not Game of the Year.
No. I was mostly being facetious.
The only game that got done in by Elden Ring was fucking Horizon. West.
Yeah, Horizon. Yeah,
Horizon got done
that's
dirty
the
again.
Game that got fucked.
It's really not fair. I should have completed Horizon by now, and I haven't touched it.
That's their fault. They should have either pushed to get it out early or delayed it. They knew Elden Ring. Like
no one knew Elden Ring was going to be that.
Oh no!
Good.
Even that, I could imagine even the higher ups would have been like, "Okay, we want our money, but we understand delaying this gives this game a lot of chance. Like releasing on the same week as Elden Ring is a death sentence.
Just give it a month, you know." Either way, it would have been fine.
I think people knew Elden Ring was going to be good. I don't think people knew it was going to completely decimate the media coverage for like a month.
Really?
The hype of it
for a month?
Yeah, the hype alone. And it was Dark Souls, and Dark Souls people will not shut up about Dark Souls.
That's the thing. Hype is a double-edged sword, right?
Yeah.
No one was expecting Elden Ring to land, you know?
Yeah, they knew it was going to be good. They knew it was going to be fucking 200 reviews, 10 out of 10 good. And that's why it dominated the market. Or not the market, the
Maybe. I feel like of all the games this year that we've talked about, Elden Ring was the juggernaut that you wanted to stay out of the way of, you know?
Yeah. It definitely, as I said, it's the only game that's been done dirty.
Yeah. Oh, poor Horizon.
But Halo came out this year. That was good, right?
No, it came out last year.
Oh, did it?
It also sucks.
Well, it hasn't quite come out yet. It's still in the process of coming out.
Still
he
open
says
beta.
Bitterly. Yeah.
You can get cat ears.
I've seen some cool GIFs recently of Forge in Halo Infinite looking really interesting. Like there was some guy mocked up the animation of boarding up windows from Call of Duty. He had mocked that up
zombies.
With this Call of Duty Zombies. Yeah, where you go up to a window and you hold a button and all the boards hammer themselves back in. And he had mocked that up in Halo Forge, like just using in-game tools. And
how do you do that? Is there like scripting?
Yeah, they're putting like their own version of like rudimentary scripting in that thing.
Oh,
and it looks
too late.
Like it could be neat, but
where was this earlier?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
God, it's just execs shouting at developers to get the game out ASAP when it's not finished.
But then again, like, how long do you need? Like, okay, not how long do you need? You need it as long as it takes, right? But that game has been in development for an incredible amount of time, and it was like
give Halo to a new studio. Take it away from 343. Give it to anyone else. And then you'll probably get a better game. That's like there's so many series where it's like, please just give it to anyone else. It's like Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. It's like, please give it to another team.
give Pokemon back to the people. That's what we're asking.
It's not even like at this point. Pokemon are doing okay. I would maybe give it to another team, but it's like put it on a different platform. Like I'll take it on the PlayStation at this point.
The platform is the lesser of two evils. It's like Xenoblade 3 looks way better than Pokemon does, and on the same platform.
Yeah. Well, but it's also like Pokemon. The reason why they said they culled a lot of the national decks was because it's like we're running out of space, and it's like just put it on a platform that has more space. You know,
if you made Game Freak, they're told you can develop Scarlet and Violet, put it on the PS5. I don't think it would look anywhere near as good as like Horizon. I don't think they're good enough.
True. Yeah. You are correct.
The platform's holding them back. It's them.
I think the platform would help, but it would be like a big step up. But yeah, I do think you are right. They do need to step it up in some areas.
Yeah. Right. Let's push this along. Rest in peace, Harry Potter. See you next year.
I think I'll probably play this. I'll probably play the Harry Potter game.
Oh, this story is propped up by Sam, because I think he's the only one that watched this. This is the THQ Nordic Showcase.
Watch this with the boys in Discord.
With the boys, not us, the other boys.
I did have one of the games announced here as a story, and I was like, "Wait, was this announced in this showcase?" I was like, "Yep, okay."
Yeah, so basically, it was a showcase of THQ Nordic's new and upcoming games. You've got the biggest one is Alone in the Dark.
Yeah.
This is a reimagining of the original. Whereas they did like a soft reboot, I think, like 10 years ago, maybe a bit longer, 10, 12 years ago.
Yeah.
You had to set chairs on fire to make light.
Wasn't that? Yeah, you had like a lighter and you had to.
You could just burn everything. Yeah.
I don't remember. I remember listening ages ago to a podcast, and they made the joke about, one of the offensive abilities in that game was pulling your trousers down and making the fart flamethrower. And somewhere along the line in my head, that just became like canon, So whenever someone says Alone in the Dark, I'm like, isn't that the fart
flamethrower game?
The fart flamethrower game, yeah.
I just remember that you could set fire to everything and then just swing around chairs. And the guy looked really weird as well. There's a picture of the guy. He was just
But Alone in the Dark, I was told that it was like one of the big first
oh my
horror
god!
games.
Do you know what it looks like?
Yeah, but apparently it has not aged well at all.
No,
it was like the first of the it was very
that's what it looks like.
influential in the horror scene.
Yeah,
right?
it was the set camera angles survival horror, and then like Resident Evil ran with it on PS1, and everyone kind of forgot about Alone in the Dark. But
how do you get from that to fart torches, man? That's weird.
Oh, I could make a few leaps of logic, I think. Oh my god, look at this image.
It's like cursed Nigel Thornberry gas. What is that?
That's like me after a heavy night of drinking.
No, there's too much hair there.
That's true, yeah.
Oh my
god.
No,
that's sunburn.
Jesus.
Because it's so fucking hot.
What other games were announced in this showcase?
So you had Destroy All Humans 2, which I think we knew about already.
This was one of the few ones that actually looked cool. I mean, it's just, if you know Destroy All Humans, it's one of those things where it's just more of the same. Don't get me wrong. Just looks really pretty, looks really fluid.
Yeah, these were PS2 games before, right? Like a long time ago. You had that. You had Space for Sale.
Best game that they showed.
Oh, really?
We were joking around, being like, "Oh, look, it's just going to be another survival crafting, building factory game," and then it got to actually showing gameplay, and I was like, fuck, they've got me.
They've got me already.
It looks so cute. It's a factory game, so I was always kind of interested in it, but
yeah,
it just looked interesting.
It looks alright, yeah. So you had that. You have Gothic remake, which I've never played.
Yeah, same.
Any of the Gothic games.
Is this that weird?
It's an action RPG, I think.
Yeah,
yeah, but didn't they make like a fan remake of this? Am I crazy? And the guy had super weird voice acting or something.
That's the weird thing about this whole showcase, in that I recognize all these names, but I don't know what they actually are. Where I'm like, Gothic. Yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah, Alone in the Dark. Yeah, that's that weird fart flamethrower game.
I'm glad that's spreading.
All I remember of this trailer is I remember someone watched like a video or something of like, could 30,000 medieval archers beat 500 Balrogs? Right? And apparently they can, and we were like, how? But in this video, apparently 30,000 medieval archers beat about 500 Balrogs.
Yeah,
and as we watched this trailer, we were just like cracking jokes of like, it's the Mines of Moria. I wonder how many Balrogs there are down there. So I hope they've all brought their crossbows, because this trailer just showed like nothing.
Yeah, I have to have a look at the actual original game to see what it was like. Jagged Alliance 3. I have no clue what this is. No clue.
If Sam said we've seen the memorable games already, so
Yeah.
Did I?
I thought you did.
Well, this looks like
This is
like a.
this is an XCOM
This is
game.
an XCOM.
It is actually an XCOM clone.
It's actually an XCOM game.
But it's got the Tropico level of humor in it. It's not like a serious kind of game, if you know what I mean.
El Presidente.
Yeah.
So yeah, you got that. What else we got? Tempest Rising. Fuck is this?
Okay. Is there a new Dawn of War?
No.
This was the Command and Conquer game.
Yeah.
It's not Command and Conquer, but it is Command and Conquer.
It says capturing the magic of the classic real-time strategy games of the 90s. Think the likes of Command and Conquer.
We were there like, oh my god, is actually a new Command and Conquer game? And it's like, no, but yes. In everything but name.
As long as it's got the soundtrack, you know what I'm saying?
As long as it's got Tim Curry.
Mm.
I'm going to the one place not corrupted by capitalism. Spice.
Spice.
Outcast 2. I got really confused when I saw this because I thought it was the Naked Man horror game where you get chased a lot, but that's Outlast.
This game.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking the same thing.
Personally, I was just like, I don't understand what this game is trying to be. I thought this was a Just Cause game.
What is wrong with that person? He's got.
I don't think he's
an
human,
alien.
mate.
He's
not human.
2 fingers and a thumb. Looks okay.
THQ has become the 90s game remaster.
Yeah,
company.
they're just doing remakes and remasters. Otherwise,
Making remakes.
Does THQ still have? They got rid of Relic, didn't they? They don't have Dawn of War anymore, do they?
Is THQ? Is that Time Splitters or not?
No. So Crytek has Time Splitters right now. I'm pretty sure.
They can't.
Crytek has Time Splitters?
Hold on, okay, I'm pretty sure.
We are
right?
all over the place here.
Yeah, Crytek has Free Radical.
Okay. Then why aren't they making Time Splitters?
Yes.
Nobody fucking wants another Time
I'm going to hard
Splitters.
derail this whole conversation.
Lots of people do, but
okay, alright. Hot take: Time Splitters. Like, people have nostalgia for it. It wasn't that good.
I mean,
Get Sam out of here.
They were pretty good.
And him.
No, they were pretty good.
They were just modern day, like GoldenEye and Perfect Dark, but like on GameCube. Like the controls and gameplay was the same. Objective-based maps.
It was on PlayStation, right?
It was on all platforms: GameCube, PlayStation, and Xbox. I think.
Okay, I can't. I'm getting conflicting reports. Who owns Time Splitters?
It's me. I own it.
Why aren't you making any Time Splitters?
I'm going to put Wreckathon in the background whilst you find out.
Honestly, for visuals, this was the most exciting game to watch.
So I read a little bit. This is an open world arcade racer.
Yeah.
Kind of like how I imagine the new Skate's going to be, but obviously with cars and not skateboards. Where it's just
it's Criterion as well, so it's Burnout people.
Oh yeah, ex-Criterion devs. That could be anything. There could be like 2 of them.
Yeah,
I was it's a car mania game, so like I'm not going to play it. It's not my type of game.
That looks like that looks like Sonic Frontiers. Remember we saw that?
Oh yeah, that's actually.
That's what Sonic Frontiers wishes it could be. But
I mean,
this game just looked fun to watch.
Yeah, we never got another Paradise City, so I'll put big money down for a Paradise City spiritual successor.
The problem with this is I think you can already do this in GTA Online.
GTA, yeah.
Yeah, but then you have to play GTA Online.
Yeah, but it's free, right? I mean, they gave it away on Epic a long time ago. Most people have it now.
Yeah, but spend more time in menus on GTA Online.
That is true.
Whenever we try and play it.
I think there's like a mod you could download for GTA Online that fixed a lot of the loading.
Oh, really?
I think. Maybe.
I'm not going to go back to it. Not at this point. I don't know why I'm like.
Oh, really? And I don't care.
yeah. Even as I said that, I was like, "Oh, who are you kidding?"
This looks cool though. What else we got? Way of the Hunter. Oh yeah, we're going to the outback. Shoot some deer.
This is
actually this is a game that's coming out this week, which I was going to bring up.
Well, the trailer's bugged and we can't play it, so we'll never find out what it is.
Looks like ass. Don't worry, you're not missing anything.
AEW Fight Forever. The trailers are just broken now. I'm going to refresh the page.
Very cringe, so I actually muted the stream because I couldn't handle the cringe.
AEW's like the indie WWE, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like off-brand wrestling.
Yeah.
It's cheaper, but I think they get a bit weirder with it.
See, ever since that wrestling game where the level of customization was so big, and you saw people just going crazy with the customization, I don't think any other wrestling game is in anyone's minds at the moment.
Yeah. SpongeBob SquarePants: The Cosmic Shake. I saw a lot of people excited for this. Actually, I think a lot of people have a lot of love for that other SpongeBob game, the like platformer.
What's the one everyone speedran?
Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of. I can't remember what it's called. Battle for Bikini Bottom, maybe?
Yeah. I don't know.
It's the one.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Everyone loves it. Yeah, it's just SpongeBob. It looks quite cool, though, in terms of, like, animation.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny enough. Cool. That was the THQ Showcase.
The biggest thing that you don't see here was when it was being presented, it had 2 presenters, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And each presenter got to talk about the next game coming up.
Yeah.
But there was no back and forth. So woman would talk about the next game and the man would say nothing. Then the trailer would show.
Yeah, it's not his turn.
And then literally. And then the next time, the man spoke for like 2 minutes and the woman would say nothing. She would they would always
weird.
just like readjust themselves. And it was like, you've got 2 people, but there's no back and
banter.
forth. There's no conversation. It's one person speaks, trailer. The other person speaks, trailer. And it was very awkward and uncomfortable.
Like when they do that for the Game Awards, it'll be Jeff Keighley on stage, and then the woman, I can't remember her name, is always up in the crowd somewhere doing the talk.
Hideo Kojima.
Hideo Kojima.
PT is 8 years old. Yesterday, I think.
Dead game.
Gotta let it go.
Yeah, dead game. Who cares? Move on.
It's a dead game, but I'm still sad. Anyway, that was the THQ Nordic Showcase. I don't think I missed anything by not watching it. Sorry, Sam.
No, all I said, I watched it and it was a fun time.
Yeah.
So I watched it with the boys and we were just cracking. Like when we was talking about fucking Balrogs during the Gothic trailer.
Fucking Balrogs.
That Gothic trailer, I was like, I don't know what this is. I do not care.
Yeah.
But had arguably just as much fun watching that trailer because I was watching it with mates.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
All right, let's move on. What you got to say?
Just quickly, Deep Silver now owns Crytek. Now owns Crytek.
Oh my god, what scoop? That just happened.
It just happened, yeah. They just called me to confirm what we were talking about.
Yeah, they had to clarify it with you.
Yeah.
Netflix is expanding into video games, but no one's playing.
There's less than 1% of players of their of Netflix subscribers have interacted with the free games that they basically can download.
They don't advertise it anywhere.
Yeah, I was going to say, have you guys seen this anywhere? Have you guys seen any Netflix advertising? Because I used to watch on tablet a lot. I mostly watch on my PC now.
No.
Do you guys watch on your phones? Does it like tell you anywhere?
I've watched
Netflix
on my phone before, and it was a while back. But at no point does it ever mention any type of game.
No, I watched Netflix on TV and phone, and it never says anywhere at any point, "Hey, do you know you could be playing Into the Breach right now instead?"
Because apparently they've got 24 games at the moment, and they're increasing it to 50. But no one's playing the games because they don't know that you can play games on Netflix.
It's like they're shy or something. It's like they've got this game service and they're like, oh, I don't want to show anyone. What if they don't like it?
Yeah.
It's like, no, man, you gotta share it. You'll learn something by showing people. I don't want to.
I just wonder if they're gearing up for some kind of cloud gaming thing. Because you think about something like Into the Breach. There's no reason it couldn't work with like a Roku TV remote or something, I wonder if that's a thing they're thinking about instead of just mobile.
I mean, it
blows my mind that it's like they've forked out all this money to publish these games, but they don't even. There's not even like a section on the app that's like, hey, do you know we got games now?
Well, that's the thing. Is like in regards to
weird.
Netflix and games, I don't even know how I would access it. Like, is it through the app? Is it a different?
You go through the app store. And then you just put in Netflix, and then it will just list a whole bunch of games that you can just download, and you'll just be playing.
It's weird. It's
yeah.
It's like so the main crux of the story is that less than 1% of the subscribers are playing anything. Netflix subscribers.
And you don't expect it to be like a massive number because there's going to be like biddies and people who aren't into gaming, but you expect like a 10% maybe, 5% that, but less than 1%. They're just not advertising it at all.
And there's got to be a reason why, because they're paying money to have these games on their service.
I think you need to download a separate app.
But Will was just saying that you download individually.
Sorry,
if you have Netflix on your phone and you're logged in, then whenever I download one of these games, and I've downloaded a couple now, and I just log in and it already knows that I have Netflix and I'm logged in, and it just goes, "Oh, hey, welcome back." Into the breach.
It should be a thing similar to when new Game Pass games get announced, and it's quite hype because it's like here's what's coming. There should be a thing, every few weeks it should be like, here's what's coming to Netflix, and I should be like, oh, really cool. But no, it's just silence.
Yeah. I only went down this rabbit hole because I was playing Into the Breach anyway, and then I read that news story that was like, oh, Ultimate Edition, and it's on published by Netflix. Otherwise, I would have no idea. Yeah.
I even follow one of the Netflix YouTube channels, and I follow Netflix on Twitter, like Netflix UK on Twitter, and it's like nothing is talked about. So
maybe they'll do a big thing at some point, like Will says, and just all at once go all in on marketing a big game section of their subscription.
Maybe they're waiting for that one killer game,
Well, they might be waiting to soften the blow when they finally announce that you can't share accounts anymore, and they add ads all over Netflix.
Yeah, but here's a bunch of games. Yeah, maybe.
Speaking of that, it was announced that soon Disney Plus is going to have the £7.99 tier is going to have ads, and you need to pay like £10.99 to get ad free. And it's like, come on,
what am I paying for if it's not to get rid of ads and watch your stuff? Just
Disney Plus is already doing pretty well. No one's watching Netflix anymore. People are watching Disney Plus. They've got some really good exclusives.
The only thing that annoys me with Netflix, which I think is ridiculous, is you have to pay a lot more for 4K content, whereas Disney Plus gives it to you regardless.
One thing I have found in Disney Plus, though, and it's probably just a me thing, but it's quieter than Netflix. Like Netflix, I've got it the volume down, but Disney Plus, it's I've got it max, and sometimes shows are too quiet.
I haven't noticed that, but
yeah, it's probably just a me on my browser thing.
I had that with a show. I was watching Sandman, and we'd have to talk about it. It's a good show, but the audio mixing in that show is all over the place, and I've noticed that more and more recently on Disney Plus and Netflix. Is it'll just be what's he saying?
I've gotten to the point now where I watch subtitles with everything now, just because.
Oh yeah,
I'm not sure if my hearing's going off, my speakers are bad, but
I think people somewhere along the way we just forgot how to mix audio. It's like people will be talking and the background music is louder than they are. It's fucking weird.
Yeah, that's the Netflix story. Was there? Oh yeah, last little bit was Midnight Suns, Marvel's Midnight Suns,
which
it was coming out soon, I think.
And
now it's been delayed to. There's just no date now.
No date at all.
It's just really weird because they were putting out lots of content recently, but trailers.
This game,
I wonder if you got to think maybe they got in some testers or something who were just oh, this sucks.
I was going on I go on Reddit, and on the front page of games, every other day would be here's Doctor Strange trailer, here's Spider-Man in the game trailer, and it's just they were dropping all this content, and now it's just oh, yeah, it's not coming out now. We'll see you.
The worst part as well is I was getting really hyped for it because I missed it was for Axis. It is XCOM. It was an XCOM clone. XCOM game.
Well, it's a card. It's a weird card game.
Yeah. But it's not. I thought it was just some weird. I don't know what I thought.
Oh yeah, we talked about this before. I think around the time when it was E3, where they
didn't show off what
they're lying about what the game is.
Yeah.
You went on the Steam page and they had I think 16 screenshots, and only one of them showed gameplay of the weird card system, and it was right at the end of the screenshots, and the description was just hang out with all your characters and fight baddies. It doesn't mention it's a turn-based card game. Bizarre, but this has been super delayed. It will launch within this fiscal year. That's all we know.
Yeah,
and then the like previous console versions plus the Switch versions will just come later. Really weird. Really weird. Like the rug has just been pulled from under them, it seems.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, just see. Yeah.
Like, oh, by the way, testers, like you say, testers think this game is shit, so we're going to delay it. It's like, oh,
it's like because we're quite far along, aren't we?
Yeah.
It felt like, yeah.
I wish you had told us that before we dropped 6 trailers about our new characters. That's all the stories for the week. Good job, everybody.
Okay.
We pushed through the heat and survived
made it.
another week. Go on,
Can we
Steve.
do the releases? Okay, so tomorrow, August 15th, this will be out already if you're on podcast, listener. We have Backpack Hero, which
Steve,
seems to be...
What is this?
This is a roguelike where it's about inventory management. Like, you have a backpack. It's kind of like Tetrisy, where you kind of like manage everything and stuff. And the way you manage stuff and click on stuff makes your character like do different attacks. And it says it makes inventory management fun.
This is some Microsoft Paint looking UI right here.
No, keep going. The trailer makes it look much better.
So you were able to already play this game on there's
a demo for it.
.io or whatever.
Yeah, itch.io.
But this game is Slay the Spire, but instead of building a deck, you build item. You get items in your backpack.
Okay.
That's what this game is.
Oh, okay. That sounds cool.
Yeah. Again, I didn't do too much research. I just looked at it and I was like, oh, it looks okay.
And it's $60 and
is it?
early access.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Subscription.
The next game that looked interesting was on August 16th. The day this podcast is out. We have Rollerdrome, which is that gun-toting, rollerblading game that we've talked about before.
Gun-toting?
Oh, yeah, you all did this, and I said I thought it looked cool.
Oh, yeah, this is the one that the guy got to the front page of Reddit with his prototype, and now it's a real game.
Yeah.
There's if you go on, I think it's like Reddit Gaming, and organize all the posts by top of all time. One of them is like, imagine this screenshot here, but all grey with like, T-posing character or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, I made a thing, and now it's a game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Also out on the 16th, although Sam said it looked bad, was Way of the Hunter, which, like, from screenshots and a 2-second read, I was like, it looks maybe like it might be fun. It's like a single player or co-op game where you go around shooting wildlife.
You just go around hunting animals.
I was like, maybe
it has no
okay.
substance.
Oh, okay,
it's Sniper Elite for animals.
Well, hold up.
Shoot this bear's testicles off.
Yeah, can I shoot a bear to prevent World War II or whatever the fuck the story was in that game?
Butterfly effect.
Yeah.
Next, what else we got, Steve?
On August 17th, we have Kirby's Dream Buffet, a game where Kirby fights his family to eat strawberries and become the biggest round boy, coming out on Switch.
It's actually based on my life.
It is a party game. It's like a party game sort of game.
This shit looks like Fall Guys, man.
Why
does it look like
does,
Fall Guys?
But yeah, it's just Kirby just wants those strawberries and he's gonna murder his family to become the biggest roundest boy.
Yeah.
And it's $60 early access.
And you gotta subscribe.
There's 2 more games. This one is just because of Stray, but there's Catizens, which
How do you even spell that? Like citizens, but Catizens.
Yeah. CATIZENS.
Oh, come on, Steve. What is this?
No, but it looks like a city builder with cats, Stardew Valley. I'm not sure. It's just because of Stray. I was like, people like cats. Maybe they'll like this,
They're lucky we're giving this space on the show.
The last game to come out, which I thought might be pretty okay, is called
Uncharted.
Tymesia.
Oh.
Tymesia, which is THYMESIA.
What? THY?
MESIA. I looked at the screenshots
I've seen
and
this. Yeah,
this
yeah.
looked okay.
Dark Souls meets a plague doctor.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. They hang out.
Like Corvus, Crow, God.
What was that? What was that jank Souls game that came out that you played, Will?
Mortal Shell.
Mortal Shell, yeah. Reminds me of that. Where it's like...
Well, yeah, but don't lump it in with Mortal Shell yet. We haven't...
Well, hold on, Mortal Shell was pretty good. What the fuck?
Yeah.
This game does not have a price, but I assume it's $60. Early
access.
It'll get delayed.
Apparently it's coming out on
every game
PlayStation
is
and
just doing that these days.
PS5 and PC. But yeah, that's what's coming out this week.
Is there a Switch version?
No, as far as I can tell.
You never told me.
Oh wait, no. Apparently, it is coming PC, Switch, and Xbox Series X.
You never told me when that Uncharted game is coming to PC.
It's already out.
No, it's not.
It is.
You would have said so on the podcast.
I did say so on the podcast.
Yeah, you were
coming
wrong.
out releases. It came out when I said it came out. Okay.
You made it release.
Exactly.
Those poor
I pulled them up and was like, "You better right now."
But, sir, it's not ready.
I don't care.
Release it. Right. Let's wrap this up. I'm getting heat stroke. Thank you for listening, everybody. If you liked what you listened to, don't forget to subscribe and all that good stuff. Leave a like, always helps. Leave a comment as well about which game was the best of Steve's upcoming games. Let us know what you think. That way we can sort of fine-tune Steve's algorithm to give you better releases next time. My name is Josh, aka BottlerWorks. You can find me on everything such as YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter under the same handle. I have a YouTube video now. I released it this week. Go watch it. It's really funny. It's on my account. Will, where can we find you?
You can search Olive Meister. You'll probably find me.
Probably. And Steve?
Yeah.
I already said you should know who I am.
And Sam.
I'm Sam.
Good shit. Good job, everybody. Another week done. See you all next week. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.